The hip-hop world is in shock after Tony Yayo dropped what he's calling undeniable proof that Jim Jones has been lying all along, and the evidence he brought to the table has fans saying Jim's career might never recover. What started as online tension has now exploded into full-blown chaos after Tony Yayo exposed receipts, voice clips, and text screenshots that allegedly show Jim Jones caught red-handed in a secret deal that goes way deeper than anyone realized. According to insiders, Yayo's bombshell isn't just about ego. It's about betrayal, loyalty, and years of behind-the-scenes manipulation finally coming to light. In an Instagram Live that instantly went viral, Tony didn't just throw shade. He named names, claimed Jim was working with ops, and dropped timestamps, voice recordings, and files that he said he'd been holding on to for years, waiting for the right moment to strike. And that moment is now. Within minutes. Hip-hop pages, gossip blogs, and even industry insiders began flooding social media with reactions. Fans are calling this the biggest betrayal since G-Unit versus Dipset, while others are demanding Jim Jones respond immediately. The footage, the files, and the tone in Yayo's voice all suggest this isn't just about rap beef. It's about exposing a hidden truth that could destroy reputations across the board. Stay tuned, because tonight, we're breaking down exactly what Tony Yayo revealed, how he got the proof, and why everyone in the industry is suddenly going silent. When Tony Yayo went live last night, nobody expected him to come with receipts. The G-Unit veteran, known for his loyalty and street credibility, didn't waste a second. "It's time people see the truth," he said, his tone cold and deliberate. Within minutes, over 200,000 viewers were watching, and what he dropped next would set the internet ablaze. Tony reached off-screen, pulled up his phone, and began scrolling through a series of screenshots. "See this?" he said, holding the phone up to the camera. "This right here? That's Jim. That's him talking slick. That's him making promises he couldn't keep. And y'all wonder why the streets don't respect him no more." The chat exploded instantly. Fans were typing so fast, the comment section was a blur. Messages like, "Yayo willed in," and "Yo, this proof crazy," flew across the screen. But then Tony tapped play on a voice note. The muffled audio began to play, and even with the distortion, everyone recognized the voice. It was Jim Jones, and he wasn't just talking about Yayo, he was talking about 50 Cent. "You gotta understand," Jim's voice said on the clip, "these G-Unit dudes be actin' like they untouchable. But behind closed doors, they beg for industry love. They not built like us. They just loud." The chat froze. Then it exploded again. Viewers were stunned. Yayo smirked as he leaned back. "See? That's what I'm talking about. You was all buddy-buddy in person, but behind the scenes, you was running your mouth like it was sweet." The clip immediately spread across social media, reposted by The Shade Room, Academics, and Vlad TV within minutes. Hashtags like "our Jim Jones exposed," "our Tony Yayo proof," and "caught red-handed" began trending. Fans couldn't believe what they'd just heard, but Tony wasn't done. He scrolled again, this time pulling up what he called the smoking gun. It was a screenshot of an alleged message exchange between Jim Jones and a well-known music executive. In it, Jim appeared to be offering to leak information about an old G-Unit dispute in exchange for a spot on a major festival lineup. The message read, "If I give you that footage from '09, we good for the slot, right? Let's make it happen." Tony tapped the screen. This the same dude talking about loyalty, talking about brotherhood. Meanwhile, he's selling footage for a festival check. You can't make this up. The audience went insane. Even people who'd been defending Jim Jones all week were suddenly going quiet. Screenshots, voice notes, and text receipts started circulating faster than wildfire. The industry wasn't just watching, they were reacting. Within hours, a few of Jim's own peers started weighing in. Mano posted a cryptic tweet, "Real ones don't talk too much." When it's true, the streets already know. Meanwhile, Uncle Murda wrote on Instagram, "If it's receipts, it's receipts. Don't cry now." That's when the situation took an even darker turn. Someone inside Dipset's camp, who claimed to have been around during the 2000s tours, came forward anonymously. In a lengthy voice memo leaked to a hip-hop blog, the insider said, "Tony ain't lying. Back in the day, Jim and a couple other cats was trying to stir up beef just to get more shine. He always had this competitive energy toward 50 and Yayo. People just didn't want to say it out loud." The streets started talking heavy. Fans began rewatching old interviews and finding moments where Jim threw subtle shade. Things that didn't seem obvious before now looked like clues. A resurfaced 2011 clip of Jim on The Breakfast Club showed him laughing when asked about G-Unit's legacy. He'd said, "They cool. They did their thing. I'm just not into that fake tough talk." Now fans were quoting that same clip with captions like, "He been dissing." But perhaps the most shocking moment came when Yayo revealed there was more, a file he called the Harlem folder. "This folder right here," he said during the live, "been sitting in my phone for a decade. Every message, every convo, every lie. I was quiet out of respect. But after all the backdoor talking, I'm done playing nice." He didn't reveal everything in that folder, not yet, but the threat alone was enough to send the industry into panic mode. Bloggers started speculating about what else might be inside: private texts, old photos, even money transactions. Some insiders claimed it could contain proof of shady label deals that connected Jim Jones to people he'd publicly dissed before. Meanwhile, Jim Jones's team scrambled to respond. His publicist released a short statement that read, "Jim doesn't respond to baseless internet noise. He's focused on his music and business ventures. Any doctored or manipulated content circulating online will be handled legally." But fans weren't buying it. "Handled legally" became a meme overnight, with people mocking the statement in the comments. "Bro said handled legally like we didn't hear your voice," one user wrote under an Instagram post that hit over 100,000 likes. Then, in true Jim Jones fashion, he decided to address the situation head-on, but in his own way. He went live on Instagram, pacing in a luxury apartment, dripping in jewelry, visibly agitated. "I don't care what these dudes talking about," he said, voice raised. "Half them stories fake. Anybody that know me know what I stand on. These G-Unit cats always got something to say when they need attention. I don't got time for no old heads clout chasing. My life good. My business good. We ain't entertaining nothing from no irrelevant dudes." But instead of clearing his name, his reaction only made things worse. Fans pointed out that he never actually denied the recordings or the texts. "He talking loud but not saying nothing," one viewer wrote in the comments. And then came the twist. Tony Yayo reposted Jim's entire live with the caption, "Loudest one in the room, usually the fakest one there." Boom. Instant explosion. The post hit over 1 million views in 2 hours, and even celebrities were chiming in. 50 Cent commented under Yayo's post with 3 laughing emojis, followed by "I told y'all years ago." That one comment reignited the entire G-Unit versus Dipset debate, with fans rehashing every old feud and interview from the early 2000s. Suddenly, everyone had a theory, from how Cameron might secretly be enjoying the drama, to how 50 might have helped Yayo pull the receipts. But what made things even more complicated was when Cameron himself decided to weigh in on his show. "It is what it is." Laughing into the camera, Cam said, "Man, I love both them dudes. But if Tony dropping proof, that's tough. Jimmy my guy, but receipts is receipts." You can't argue with that. That statement from Cam was the nail in the coffin. Fans interpreted it as Cameron not denying anything, and social media went wild. At this point, the situation wasn't just about Yayo and Jim anymore. It had spiraled into a full-on industry event, a clash of reputations, history, and loyalty that no one saw coming. Tony ended his live with one final line that left fans frozen. He looked straight into the camera and said, "See, the thing about truth is, you can't outrun it. You can ignore it, deny it, or spin it, but it always catches up." And tonight, it caught him. The screen went black. It caught him. The screen went...
The day after the leaked footage of Remy Ma and Easy surfaced, Papoose was reportedly still struggling to process the betrayal. Insiders revealed that he spent hours in private reflection, alternating between anger, disbelief, and heartbreak. Witnesses described him as pale and withdrawn, pacing his home while replaying the clips in his mind. Friends say that it was clear he felt blindsided. Someone he trusted implicitly had shattered that trust in the most public and humiliating way possible. Sources close to Papoose explained that his immediate concern was understanding the full scope of the betrayal. The leaked footage didn't just depict intimacy. It exposed a level of secrecy and deception that made him question not only Remy Ma's loyalty, but also the reliability of people in their inner circle. According to insiders, he began scrutinizing past interactions, searching for any signs he might have missed. He was trying to piece together the puzzle, one source said. It wasn't just about the footage, it was about the months of trust he thought he had and whether any of it was real. The scandal didn't remain private for long. Within hours, clips of the footage spread like wildfire across social media platforms, igniting intense debate and speculation. Fans, influencers, and gossip outlets dissected every frame, providing commentary and analysis that amplified the drama. Hashtags such as hashtag PAPOOSE, shock, hashtag Remy Ma leak, and hashtag hip-hop drama dominated trending topics, making the story impossible to ignore. Even mainstream media outlets jumped on the narrative, broadcasting segments, analyzing the fallout, and predicting the consequences for all parties involved. Friends close to Papoose reported that he deliberately tried to limit his exposure to online commentary to avoid being overwhelmed. While he monitored developments, he relied on a small, trusted inner circle to provide updates, perspective, and guidance. He wanted clarity, not chaos, a source revealed. Social media was a battlefield, and he didn't want to let it dictate his emotions or actions. Meanwhile, Remy Ma and Easy faced mounting scrutiny. Sources indicated that their camps attempted to manage the narrative, issuing vague statements about privacy and discretion. But the leaked footage had already gone viral, making it nearly impossible to contain. Social media users scrutinized every statement, every post, and every public appearance, fueling ongoing speculation about motives, relationships, and repercussions. The emotional confrontation between Papoose and Remy Ma reportedly took place shortly after the footage surfaced. Sources described it as tense, emotional, and highly charged. Papoose demanded full transparency and accountability, questioning every interaction and seeking explanations for the betrayal. According to insiders, Remy Ma attempted to respond, but the undeniable evidence made it difficult for her to offer a coherent explanation. Friends described the scene as raw and unfiltered, a private moment filled with emotion that would have been explosive had it been public. In addition to the personal ramifications, the leak created professional and social consequences. Both Papoose and Remy Ma are prominent figures in the hip-hop community, and the viral footage inevitably affected their reputations, partnerships, and public perception. Industry insiders reported that collaborations, media appearances, and endorsements were now under scrutiny as fans and sponsors reacted to the scandal. The combination of personal betrayal and public exposure created a high-stakes scenario that required careful navigation. Throughout the ordeal, Papoose reportedly focused on maintaining his composure. Friends revealed that he spent time exercising, meditating, and strategizing, seeking to process his emotions while planning a response that would preserve his integrity. He knew that any rash move could make things worse, an insider said. He was hurt, yes, but he was also thinking strategically about the fallout and what steps to take next. Meanwhile, the social media frenzy continued. Fans dissected every clip, sharing theories about the motivations of Remy Ma and Easy, and speculating on the consequences for Papoose. Influencers and gossip pages amplified the narrative, keeping the scandal trending and ensuring that public attention remained focused on the drama. Each new post, comment, and video further fueled the frenzy, creating a situation that seemed to escalate by the hour. Sources revealed that the leak also caused tension among mutual friends and associates. Some were forced to take sides, while others attempted to mediate between Papoose and Remy Ma. This added layer of social complexity intensified the situation, highlighting how personal betrayal could ripple outward to affect an entire network of relationships. Friends noted that Papoose handled these dynamics with remarkable tact, balancing his emotional response with careful consideration of alliances, loyalties, and social consequences. As days passed, Papoose reportedly began planning his next steps publicly. He made selective social media posts that reflected his emotional state while also signaling strength and resilience. One post read, "Truth always finds a way to surface. Never underestimate the power of clarity and integrity." Fans immediately interpreted this as a direct response to the betrayal, praising him for maintaining dignity while confronting the situation. Insiders revealed that the confrontation with Remy Ma and Easy had lasting emotional effects. Papoose reportedly struggled with feelings of anger, sadness, and disbelief. Yet he also felt a renewed sense of determination to protect himself and assert his boundaries. Friends emphasized that he was focused on reclaiming control over his life and narrative, refusing to allow betrayal or public scrutiny to define him. The scandal also sparked broader conversations within the hip-hop community. Fans, industry insiders, and media commentators debated the ethics of leaked footage, the responsibilities of partners, and the consequences of betrayal. These discussions elevated the story beyond personal drama, turning it into a cautionary tale about trust, accountability, and public perception. Papoose's handling of the situation became a central point of analysis, highlighting his emotional intelligence and strategic thinking under pressure. By the end of the week, Papoose had reportedly begun implementing long-term strategies to manage the fallout. He limited exposure to negative commentary, relied on trusted advisors, and focused on rebuilding his sense of control and stability. Friends noted that his resilience and measured approach were earning him admiration from fans and peers, solidifying his reputation as someone capable of navigating one of the most explosive betrayals in recent hip-hop history. Despite the intense public scrutiny, Papoose remained determined to protect his emotional well-being. Friends emphasized that he spent time reflecting, engaging in self-care, and seeking clarity about his next steps. According to insiders, he was deliberate in his decisions, balancing the need for emotional expression with the necessity of strategic action. The leaked footage of Remy Ma and Eazy had far-reaching consequences, affecting personal relationships, professional opportunities, and public perception. Papoose's response, a combination of emotional honesty, strategic planning, and resilience, highlighted his ability to navigate a highly charged situation with composure and foresight. Meanwhile, Remy Ma and Eazy faced immense scrutiny. Insider accounts suggest that both were aware of the potential fallout but did not anticipate the viral reach of the footage. Their attempts to downplay the situation publicly only fueled speculation, with social media users dissecting every word, post, and interview. Fans debated motivations, intentions, and consequences, ensuring that the story remained trending across multiple platforms. Hashtags like #PAPOOC shocked, #Remy Ma scandal, and #EAZY exposed dominated discussions, making it impossible for the parties involved to escape public attention. As the days unfolded, Papoose reportedly began taking deliberate steps to manage both his emotions and public image. He focused on self-care, engaging in meditation, exercise, and quality time with trusted friends and family members. According to insiders, he also spent significant time reflecting privately, journaling his thoughts and feelings to maintain clarity and composure. This period of reflection allowed him to process the betrayal without allowing anger or hurt to dictate his actions publicly. The emotional confrontation between Papoose and Remy Ma reportedly took place soon after the leak. Sources describe it as highly charged, raw, and intense. Papoose demanded complete transparency and accountability, seeking answers about the betrayal and the motives behind it. Remy Ma, while attempting to explain herself, faced undeniable evidence in the form of the leaked footage, which made it impossible to provide a convincing narrative. Friends and insiders characterized the confrontation as emotionally exhausting but crucial, as it allowed Papoose to assert boundaries and communicate his expectations for trust and loyalty moving forward. In addition to the personal fallout, the scandal had professional ramifications. Papoose, Remy Ma, and Eazy are prominent figures in the hip-hop industry, and the leaked footage inevitably affected public perception, collaborations, and endorsements. Industry insiders indicated that business relationships were being reevaluated, with some partners distancing themselves due to the controversy. Fans also speculated about future projects, appearances, and alliances, making it clear that the repercussions extended far beyond personal relationships. The social media frenzy surrounding the scandal continued to intensify, Fans and influencers closely analyzed every development, creating memes, reaction videos, and detailed commentary. Insider accounts suggest that the constant scrutiny was emotionally taxing for Papoose. But it also reinforced the need for him to maintain composure and strategic thinking. Friends noted that he was deliberate in his responses, choosing moments to speak publicly or post online in ways that balanced emotional authenticity with calculated control. Papoose reportedly also faced challenges within his social circle. Some mutual friends and acquaintances were forced to take sides, while others attempted to mediate, complicating an already tense situation. Sources revealed that Papoose handled these dynamics with remarkable tact, maintaining focus on his own emotional stability while navigating complex interpersonal relationships. This approach allowed him to protect himself from additional stress and maintain a sense of control amid the chaos. Over time, Papoose began to regain a sense of agency. He made selective public appearances and social media posts that reflected his emotional state while signaling strength, resilience, and clarity. One post reportedly read, "Pain is temporary. Clarity and strength are permanent. Choose wisely who you let in your circle." Fans immediately interpreted this as a direct response to the betrayal, praising him for balancing vulnerability with empowerment. Insiders revealed that the leaked footage also sparked conversations about privacy, trust, and accountability within the hip-hop community. Many debated the consequences of leaked personal moments, the responsibilities of partners, and the long-term impact of public betrayal. Papoose's handling of the situation became a reference point for navigating such crises, demonstrating the importance of strategic thinking, emotional intelligence, and self-respect. Despite the ongoing public scrutiny, Papoose continued to focus on self-care and emotional recovery. Friends noted that he prioritized time away from media distractions, focusing on personal reflection, fitness, and supportive interactions with trusted allies. This intentional approach allowed him to process the betrayal without losing control, emphasizing the importance of mental health and resilience in high-pressure situations. The scandal also fueled broader discussions across media outlets, blogs, and social platforms. Industry experts debated potential long-term consequences for all parties involved, including impacts on future projects, collaborations, and public image. Fans dissected every move, analyzing body language, statements, and emotional cues. The pervasive attention underscored the extent to which private betrayal had become a public spectacle, amplifying both the personal and professional stakes for Papoose, Remy Ma, and EAZY. As the weeks went on, Papoose reportedly implemented strategies to regain control over his life and narrative. This included limiting exposure to negative commentary, selectively sharing updates with trusted media outlets, and maintaining a strong sense of personal boundaries. Friends emphasized that he was determined not to allow betrayal or public scrutiny to define him, focusing instead on empowerment, clarity, and long-term resilience. Ultimately, Part 3 of this explosive saga illustrates how Papoose navigated one of the most shocking betrayals in recent hip-hop history. The leaked footage, public scrutiny, and personal heartbreak tested his emotional strength and strategic thinking. Yet he emerged as a figure of resilience and empowerment through careful reflection, intentional action,